I'm Simon Sharkey and I'm Associate Director and I look after the Learn operation for National Theatre of Scotland. I say that you can't be creative without learning something and you can't learn something without being creative. So what we do is we create experiences that you can be creative and learn something whilst making world-class theatre.
As he rises from the depths, back to the light, back to the air and the weight of his boots and helmet, satisfied and secure that his rods will hold the dams.
Turns back to look at the bridge, and it's perfectly framed in the circle window of his helmet, like a miniature Victorian oil painting. The light is blinding. I've just secured the foundations for the second Forth bridge. I'm in good company.
Why is the globe round? It should be a square. Where's the globe? Do you know anything at all?
You can't leave it enough, don't touch that fire. You're gonna have to go out and set the fire on again, please.
Stop, jump and roll, stop, jump and roll.
Right, go out. You want to tell them we never did that, we never did that.
Remember to come back!
Help us! Get on your knees! Sit down, get on your knees! Hold on to the ropes! Hold on to the ropes and everything will be okay. Obey everything I say!
We take that phrase, theatre without walls, and quite literally go into communities where the audiences are and put the artists into those communities to work with those communities and create that theatre. Partnership is absolute paramount with all the work that we do. We can't do it without anybody else because we don't have a theatre to put plays on or have these experiences with. What's really exciting about that is that we then find new forms of theatre through the partnerships that we have. Exchange is one of the most exciting things that we do, in my opinion, because it focuses on young theatre makers. We give them the access to world-class practitioners who will run a range of master classes for groups of young theatre makers and their directors and the people who look after them, with an expectation that they'll learn from those master classes and apply what it is that they've learned in the creation of devised pieces of theatre. And then we give the young theatre makers a budget and a forum, as in a festival, to be able to come and share all the pieces of theatre that they've made.
We are real men.
We are violence.
We are aggression. We are predators.
We hunt bats.
The eyes you avoid. We are hate.
The only way to go forward is to unlock the baggage, face your past, and accept. Just accept.
There's a similar philosophy that applies to Diaspora, which is a programme that we have that we reach out to international practitioners. As a theatrical diaspora, we invite them to Scotland to share their practices and methodology and experience with Scottish-based practitioners and artists. The idea being there that if there's exposure and fusion of that knowledge and sharing, it'll influence the way that we make theatre in Scotland. Our emerging artist programmes, one of the things that I think the National Theatre of Scotland should be doing, bringing young theatre makers and recent graduates into the body of a national company to give them the experience and exposure to the creation of world-class theatre and the contexts through which they make the theatre, because it's not always just about putting plays on stage or in those spaces that I've described before. In the Learn department, our bread and butter is learning. So we connect with the formal and informal education sector in lots of different ways. But the mainstay of that is that we provide workshops and resources, but we'll present them in such a way that they can work for drama or English or curriculum for excellence. So our long-term goal is to continue to support the artists and nurture that talent and give them the means by which they can take that to communities and audiences. One of my favourite things that I'm able to do in this job is genuinely go to communities and large casts of non-professionals and thank them for being part of National Theatre Scotland.